The video you are about to watch is a recording of a live client co-build session hosted by Andy O'Neill. We've made sure to keep the editing to a bare minimum, ensuring you get an authentic glimpse into what a co-build call really looks like. In this particular session, watch as Andy O'Neill, joined by the talented Loic Sieb, tackles a complex QuickBooks Online data mapping challenge alongside a client. The objective is to seamlessly integrate tax and shipping values into a QuickBooks Online Estimate. If you are interested in taking part of a co-building call like this, join us by visiting our website.
So Matt, meet Loic. Loic is based in San Diego.
Yep.
And I've known him for several years. I'll let you explain your business, Matt, before we jump into, you'll do a better job than I will.
So we work with, main thing we do is we work with property management companies, really coast to coast. And we set up their online stores for the communities that they manage to access to obtain like marketing materials that the like corporate office has approved. And then our platform also has like workflow management that works with their processes. That's it in a nutshell.
Okay. Do you want to start where you guys, show me where you guys are at?
Yeah. Matt, if you'll share your screen, and Loic, if you want, if you get to the point, you can request remote control. You can drive.
Sounds good.
So this scenario starts with a webhook, and Matt has, how many WooCommerce sites do you have? 30?
We're probably like 40 right now.
40. Okay. So each client has their own site to order from. And so what this scenario is doing is we have the same webhook on all the sites. And then the fourth module is Google Sheets. And what we're doing is we're dynamically mapping to that site's API. So the API keys are in that Google Sheet. And then we are creating an estimate in QuickBooks from that order. And so there's a couple of things going on. One thing is the client, for example, if I'm an employee of a property management company, I could go to this site and my employer's given me a coupon for $50 off and free shipping. And so then I can order custom t-shirts or mugs or whatever, apparel, for example. And then I can buy whatever I want, but then my employer's giving me this $50 off coupon and free shipping. And so what happens is Matt's going to bill his client for that amount off that was taken off of the order.
Okay. And usually the employees are always ordering like the order balance is always zero. It's always like a total of zero. Or they can order, or sometimes they go over the allowance and just pay the rest out of pocket.
Yeah. So that's what they'll do. A lot of what they'll do is they'll budget so much per employee. So they create the coupon code, give it to the employee, and then they can go shop on there. If they want something that's over that amount, they pay it. And sometimes they'll have the employees pay the shipping, and sometimes they'll pay the shipping. If the employee pays the shipping and there's a coupon, we just invoice that company for the invoice amount. But if they cover the shipping, then we're invoicing the coupon amount and the shipping.
And there's only one QuickBooks account, right?
Yes.
Okay. And you're creating an estimate, right? So because I guess what I'm trying to understand here is like, how come you're not creating an invoice right away? Because the transaction is now already approved, right?
Everything we do is custom. So when an estimate comes in, we're not turning it into an invoice until it ships out.
Okay. So you're creating the invoice, and the QuickBooks customer is the actual company that issued the coupon.
Correct. So all the communities access the store, but that's all funneling into one customer in QuickBooks, because that's the management company for all those properties.
So down there, that is where I'm taking the lines from the WooCommerce order, converting it to the lines for the estimate. That second one or the one before that, is we're actually calculating shipping. And so this is the shipping line. I have a merge array function in QuickBooks.
Right here.
So I'm merging those three arrays. And so this last array is, you have that estimate pulled up, Matt, that you could show him. So because we can't add the shipping, this is a taxed shipping thing. Can you scroll down, Matt? So if we're able to put shipping in directly, then we have a zero balance. But because shipping's not in the line items, we end up with a negative balance because we can't add shipping. So we got to create this with the line items and the tax amount and shipping at the same time.
But we can't combine the tax and the amount because that'll throw everybody off too.
Can you correct this and look what it should look like?
So you're shipping right.
Oh, it corrected it again. Yeah.
That's what it would look like.
And then 1590 should go there.
It's there because it was paid for but it was already paid for, so it won't. I mean, you could. Okay, but if I do that, let's think of when we did that, it threw it. It was doing the sales. It wasn't putting the sales tax in it.
Yeah, but set the tax back to 1056. It keeps recalculating.
It just keeps doing that.
This should be.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
That's what we're trying to get.
Okay.
But you see the lines are negative. So,
Mm-hmm.
you know, it freaks out. But that's what we're trying to get to.
Okay.
Where I got stuck is that shipping has a different structure than the other line items.
Yeah, it's not a line item. It's like it's something. Well, it's like an actual field.
Okay. I found one example where somebody's trying to add it as a line item. So that's what.
Yeah, you could add it as a line item. That's one way to do it. If you want, actually, let me just check something really quick here. That's how you guys. So shipping is here, and so here is the shipping. So where's this line coming from?
Where's what?
This one and
That's
this one.
that there's coming from so we're registered in several states to collect sales tax. So when you're on the order, on the tax, there's actually a drop down menu, and it shows the states that we collect sales tax. And so that's one thing we ain't got to yet. If the states there, but that's where that's coming from.
Okay, because but it's not. This line is not created in Make, right? The Nebraska one.
No, the tax is added.
Because here you have this line.
Right. So,
and I don't know.
That's not correct. Like that's
okay.
I don't think we've got there yet, but to where I don't know what kind of setting we need to set. If we need to change the setting in QuickBooks, because I know we're trying to track it different.
Yeah.
But
so
I think let's see. If you go back to the scenario.
Because here, okay, it was not added by the scenario as the original creation. So there's no line from Nebraska. It was added somewhat manually, probably.
Where it was it defaulted that when it came across.
Because so I don't know if you guys remember this, but it looks like some stuff where, because here at 2 minutes after creation, someone came and edited this.
Can we go into the one that we just pushed? That's the same order that he just did on Postman.
So it didn't create because there was an error.
Oh, okay. All right.
So there's nothing to see here. But do you have any other automation working on this, or that could have added this line here? Or is like do you guys remember doing this manually yesterday?
It was already there. I think what we were going to try, if you go back to the scenario real quick, right here, I think is a switch. Is that a switch module? Can't see it.
But yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So that's a switch that should have outputted the state. Yeah. So that we haven't mapped it yet, but what I did is we pulled the state that it's going to, and then I looked at the tax lines that actually could be mapped because those lines should match what's in QuickBooks.
So usually the taxes in QuickBooks it's calculated automatically using what they call like their ATS, automated tax system, and they looked at the shipping address, or the ship to address, and the type of product, how's that tax, and then the kind of calculate everything together.
That's how they were supposed to work, but that's not how QuickBooks is currently set up. So right now we set up like that Nebraska, like that, and we give it a percentage. That's what we've been doing because they don't have the ability to calculate it. We're using tax jar on our stores that calculates it right. It's basing it off the ship to address, and that's the amount that we need to show as the tax in QuickBooks. So that's the correct amount.
But we are passing the tax to that estimate. There's a tax field on the estimate.
Yeah.
I don't think we've mapped the tax class yet.
Okay.
tax class. Yeah. Okay. So you have a line item. And so here, if you go back to what we tried to feed, tax is shipping.
If you lower down, yeah, there's the shipping address.
There it is. 1056.
Yeah, we're just temporarily passing it there to.
Yeah. Okay, and that's not what you want, right? You don't want this is a line item.
Because there's an actual tax field on the estimate that we can pass it to. We did this so that the amount would be greater than 0.
Yeah. So one of the problem here is here you're saying that you want to tax it, right? You're taxing all this line item, but really they're not taxed because you don't use the tax field. You would use this if you were using the QuickBooks automated tax system, because here you should have end-to-end.
Oh, okay.
And I think, and then after that, let me look at yours. So
I have it set when
so the tax is calculated. Is it this one?
No, that's shipping.
And this is the discounts.
Yeah. So if you go into 42, I think, or that's the other line items. Yeah, that's the non-product line items.
Okay.
And that's the order line items. I think tax is manually added in there.
Tax is where you said?
So if you click on the regular line items you just edited, yeah, click on there and scroll down. Okay,
Yeah.
so there's tax codes. Yeah, so you could just.
Yeah, so I think you should tweak this.
And yeah, that one. And then check that one too. Yep.
Okay. And not every order will have tax. In some states, we don't collect sales tax for.
Because if you add it as a line item, you don't want to also add it here, right? It's one or the other. But
yeah, we're trying to add it there.
Yeah, but the thing is like, okay, let's use the text code here.
So those numbers, that switch will map. So like if you pick Texas or Nebraska or something, we went through the list and map it.
Okay.
Yeah, so the switch needs to be mapped there.
Okay. So then,
yeah, number 20.
But the line items
and shipping is also put into a line item as well.
Okay, so let's maybe try one at a time. Let's try to get the tax first, and then we can worry about shipping. But just okay, you did. Okay, so it's here.
I think the tax is on that number 34. The create JSON just further down.
Okay.
Yeah, 2 or 3. Yeah, that's the online processing.
Got it.
Shipping address. I think it's the last. Yeah, there it is.
Okay, I'm just going to make it 0 for now, so we don't destroy all this. We need to go back. Okay, and here let's try it.
So what I've been doing, I've been mapping. Oh, okay.
And just for now.
Yeah, I've been doing a format date with the X so that it just adds the seconds, the Unix seconds every time we run it. So we can do it multiple times.
On the doc number?
Yeah. So yeah, just do like a dash format date now.
And what do you want? Just a second?
Capital X. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Shall we try to run it?
Sure.
All right.
All right. Sending accepted.
Whatever that, I don't know if it will cause it, but I'm sure whatever the amount that like that 1056 is not going to match what QuickBooks it would like when it's triggering the state. It's going to be different more than likely because we have that just like a set, like I said, a set amount or the percentage, just a default percentage in QuickBooks. We can't adjust it any.
Just want to make sure all the lines are text. Let me try to put it.
That second one will have more than one, that JSON right there. Yeah.
But I think they're already on for some reason, there's no text here. So by default, can you send user?
Then sent. liked at that time.
So amount 0, tax detail 1056. All right. So basically now you just want the shipping here, or?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. The easiest here is to, instead of doing the entire call with everything, try to just do a sparse update and just updating the shipping with the API call. So we don't have to.
I had trouble finding the shipping, how it's formatted in the call.
Yeah, but here what's surprising here is, let's say you have to put the customer detail, the customer ID in the call, but I don't see it in the actual example.
If you want to retrieve that estimate, oh yeah, if you look at the bottom left-hand side, there's a module already there to retrieve estimates.
Okay. Is it here?
Yeah, get an estimate. It's hard-coded, so just
Is it house coded?
yeah, it's hard-coded, so just click in there and just swap it out with what you got. Oh, no, sorry. It's hard-coded probably with a different one.
Just wonder if there is some
But
thing in there.
when we did it before, I found it in the line items.
Yeah, because maybe you had added it. Let me just put it here. Okay.
You look at the one above that, I think it's a line item. I don't know why, but
It's line item.
yeah, right there. That's the format. That's the
And
format I found online with the guy who was having trouble with this. Is that was in his JSON, and Brooks was like, "Yep, looks good. You got to go turn shipping on." So we went to Matt's settings and turned shipping on, but that's where I'd found it.
mhm. Right.
The problem is that line
Actually,
item layout is different than the others.
okay. Let's try something else. Shipping. Okay, let's try to run this. That's my step that I never set this up correctly. So that makes sense that you fail. But I think it may have worked though.
Don't tell me it was that easy. Look at that.
Yeah.
It's very weird
Sweet.
setup. Very weird setup that sits in the line item. That's good to know.
So that's set to Texas. So are we setting that? Because that looks right. Are we setting because that one was from Texas that I sent.
So this is from the switch, so should be working.
Oh yeah, so it looked like it worked because it was doing something else.
Switch and here give you Texas is 7. Yeah.
7 Texas.
I think
Yeah,
it
adding
looks like
that.
the big roadblocks are gone.
Yes. Thank you.
Anything else? That you guys?
I think that's it. That's what we were trying to solve yesterday.
Yeah. Appreciate your help with that.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, let me know if you run into more issues. Taxes bid is always a pain.
Yeah. Especially with QuickBooks. Their system's been down with the taxes for the last 2 months. Calculating it right.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a nightmare. Taxes are always a big pain in QuickBooks. All right, guys, I'm going to go. Andy, if you have any issues, let me know.
Okay. Sounds good. Thank you. That was the issue we're trying to get fixed.
All right. Matt, it was nice to meet you.
It's nice to meet you as well. Thank you again for your help.
Have a good weekend.
Thanks.
Bye, Andy.
Bye.
Bye, guys.